You did not click on the wrong video. I just want to give you the best explanation when it comes to making a gauge swatch for your crochet items. So now you want to make a crochet item, for example, a blanket. Let us call this big piece of paper the blanket, like, oh, when you're done working, this is what your blanket looks like. But before that, you need to have something called a swatch, and this is this small piece of paper. So if you can look at this small piece of paper, we can cut out about 6, if not more than 6 of it out of our big piece. That's our blanket. So basically, the swatch is like a sample of the item that you intend to make. The reason you need a swatch is because with different projects, you use different types of crochet hooks, you use different types of yarn. So you need to have a calculation of the amount of stitches you're going to make for a particular project, because for every project, you have a particular measurement. So you need to know the amount of stitches you need to make to get that particular measurement for the type of yarn you're using and for the type and size of crochet hook you're using. And also for the type of stitches you're going to be using. Is it going to be single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, or other types of stitches? The next step is to get a book and a pen. So on that book, you're going to write yarn and you're going to write hook size. So now I'm just going to put in the type of yarn I'll be using. So I've decided to go with this particular type of yarn. It's called Yeye Extra. So I'm going to write that down, Yeye Extra. This is so that I don't forget and I can use the gauge for similar projects. The next thing you write down is your crochet hook. I'm going with this 4.5mm crochet hook, so I'll note that down. So I'll put my book aside so I can work on my swatch. To make my swatch, I'm going to make a few chains. When I ended up counting my chains, I made 19 chains. You can make lesser than that. Just make sure that you make enough to make an appropriate or a comfortable measurement. The type of stitch I've chosen for this project is the half double crochet stitch. So I'm going to make the half double crochet stitch for a number of rows. At this point, I'm alright with the number of rows that I've made for my swatch. So I'm going to chain one and tie off that knot so that I can secure my swatch. I'm bringing the paper again to show you that the paper we referenced in the beginning is identical to the swatch that we have now. Next step now is to count the number of rows that you have and the number of stitches that you've made. When I counted mine, I have 7 rows and 19 half double crochet stitches, and I went ahead to write that down in my notes. The next thing you're going to do is put an equal to sign in front of your rows and your stitches that you've counted. You're now going to get your tape rule. So when you get your tape rule, you're going to measure the work, the horizontal measurement and the vertical measurement. The horizontal measurement here is like you put that horizontal measurement in front of the number of stitches. So now the horizontal measurement I got is 5.375 inches. So I'm going to make sure to write inches because you don't want to mix it up with centimeters. Now I'm going to go and measure my rows. Again, I'll take my tape rule and measure my vertical measurement this time around. Then I'll note my measurements and take it to the front of my number of rows. What I've measured is 2.875 inches. Now you have your swatch and you have your measurement of your swatch. So now you can apply this particular hook, yarn, this particular stitch type to any project that you want to make with all these things. So that we can actually practicalize it, we're going to apply it to certain measurements that I'm going to give. So I was like, what I want to make, and I'll give a measurement. I said, let's say that thing is 19 inches wide and 10 inches long. So now we have a measurement. How am I going to turn this thing that is just like about 2 inches and 5 inches? How am I going to make it 9 inches and 10 inches? So in this area, you need to pay attention. To make it easier for you, I'm going to give you an example. So what we are doing right now is something called proportion. So let's use a ball of yarn. The price for one ball of yarn is 1,000 naira. That means 2 balls of yarn would be 1,000 times 2, that's 2,000 naira. 3 balls will be 1,000 times 3, that's 3,000 naira. So that is what we are going to be applying. So now we're going to practicalize it so that you can understand better. If you're following, you know that the horizontal measurement we took the last time was 5.375, and that was like what we measured our 19 half double crochets to be. So you're going to write that out, but this time you're going to put the inches measurement in front, because now we want to know what 19 inches would be in like half double crochet stitches. Like how many half double crochet do we have to do to get 19 inches? So what you're going to do is do 19 times 19 and divide it by 5.375. Let's go back to the ball of yarn reference. So basically we're doing 2 times 1,000, but the part I did not mention was 2 times 1,000 divided by 1. If you still have questions, let me know in the comment section. So now I've gotten my value to be 67.16 half double crochet, so I'll approximate that to 67 half double crochet. So that leads me to know that I will make 67 chains plus 1 turning chain. Do you know that for half double crochet it is 1 turning chain that we make for our like row. I needed to move to another page, but I had to tear the piece of paper so that we can have what we are working with on one screen. So now we've done, for the example that we're trying to do, we're trying to calculate for 19 inches wide and 10 inches long. We've done 19 inches wide. We know how many chains we need to make, but now we want to know how many rows we need to make. So I'm going to go back to the swatch measurements that I've written down. So for the length, we did 2.875 inches. That's what we measured for our 7 rows. So I'm going to write that down. Again, I'm going to do 10 times 7 divided by 2.875, and I've gotten my value to be 24.3, which I would approximate to 24. So now I'm going to make 24 rows. So I'm going to be chaining 67 and I will work half double crochet stitches for 24 rows. So this is how you apply your swatch measurements to your actual work. So the swatch that we made, we got the measurements, and the work that we did or that we're going to make was the example that I said we should work on. That is our work that is 19 inches wide and 10 inches long. So now we have a direction. So now I'm just writing out that you can now chain 67 plus your turning chain, that's a chain 1, and work for 64 rows. So that is how you apply your swatch measurement. I really hope this video was helpful. I tried to like explain everything in bits as much as I could. I really hope it was helpful, and the truth is I'm going to like take your questions. Like if you have your questions, the comment section is a free space. You guys ask whatever question you have and I'm going to reply to every question and comments that is made. Also, I've linked a Telegram group so that you can share your progress, and also let me know if you have like any issues or any questions, and I would be receptive to them all. If this video was helpful, kindly give this video a like. Please subscribe to the channel and share the video to your friends and family. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.